What's up, Commanders fans? So a lot of people was giving Michael Davis a lot of flack, and it's expected because he's been playing like ass. He's been having so many penalties that have been setting his team back, but Jayden Daniels has still found a way to win these games, and not just Jayden, but Marcus Mariota as well. So people didn't want to give my boy Michael Davis a happy birthday wish, and in the comments they was going off. And this is not just anybody posting this. This is the Washington Commanders media team posting this on their page, and they going off in the comment section. I think they should have cut the comment section off, because they was just going off like, you need to ship this man to an all expense paid trip to, you know what I'm saying? They just saying anything. So I'm like, this cool and all, but outside of football, he's a human being. Like, he's a real person who's gonna read these comments, and I understand, bruh. I understand what people may be saying, but y'all gotta understand sometimes these is real people's lives. Like, and then people don't understand, but your words do affect his play. And of course, he been playing like ass, so it can't be no worse than he already playing. But I'm just saying, sheesh, y'all can't just wish that man a happy birthday and just move on. Golly, like y'all was going off. I don't know who it was, but y'all was going off in the comment section. And I'm just like, yo, he has been playing like ass. But Benjamin St. Juste has been playing like ass as well. But the person that we can think about that's been playing very well for us is Mike Sanders still. In his very first year, my man has been going off. 14 pass deflections, 2 interceptions, 1 forced fumble, 90-plus tackles, and he's third in cornerbacks in solo tackles. So don't worry about Benjamin St. Juste and Michael Davis. These guys are about to be up out of here soon. Don't worry. But relax. Let them have a birthday at least. Like, sheesh. Like, dang, you can wish this man a happy birthday. That's if anything, bro. You ain't got to go off every single time. And if you do go off every single time, that's fine. But his birthday, though? Sheesh. And, man, like, we have a lot to look forward to because, one, we got rid of Emanuel Forbes, a guy that Ron Rivera brought in, thinking that he was going to recreate everything he did at Mississippi State, and thought he was going to come in and be a Deron Bland for us. But that didn't happen last season, and it didn't happen this season with the new regime. And Dan Quinn and Joe Witt Jr., they realized, and Adam Peters as well, they all realized that Emanuel Forbes was just not cutting it. He was not it. So they just released him. And that tells you a lot. If a team is willing to release a player, and especially a player that was a first-round draft pick last season, you know, that's telling you a lot about him. And that's telling you a lot about how they feel about him and what they, and if they believe in him or not. And they don't. Obviously, they understood from his body type that he needed to improve on gaining weight. Like, he needed to gain some weight because he wasn't physical enough. And because he was so lightweight, he was getting pushed around. And we got to see that last year in the Eagles game. But this year, man, is he got an interception. I can give him that. But, you know, we started Benjamin St. Juste over him. We even brought in Michael Davis over him. So what is that telling you? And Mikey Sanders still in his very first year has been doing his thing. And if Mikey Sanders still is littler than him, what is that telling you? Like, Mikey Sanders still plays way more physical. First of all, he makes his tackles. I think he missed like maybe I think it was like maybe 11 or 14 tackles. But come on now. Let's look at how many tackles Emanuel Forbes has missed. And he with the Rams right now. So hopefully they can get something out of him. And maybe it was just to where it could have been he just wasn't in the right scheme for him. That could be it. But then you think about it like, yo, we just had a different scheme last year, and then this one this year, and he ain't finna neither one of them. So that could be it. I think he could possibly be like more of a safety than anything, instead of an actual man-to-man corner. He works well in zone, but I think honestly I think he should be a safety. But man, for us to get rid of him in our very first year of having him on the team says a lot. It says that Ron Rivera did a terrible job at picking his players, and we drafted him way too high, and there was a lot that he couldn't do that we needed, and the problems was way bigger than just cornerback last season. We needed a whole roster change, and that's why we got rid of a lot of guys and brought in a lot of guys. And we got a lot of guys to re-sign this year, and one of those guys being one of those guys being a lot of people. It's a lot of people. But I want to strictly stay on cornerbacks for right now. And a person that I'm glad that we got was Marshawn Lattimore. Of course, we haven't got everything up out of him. But think about this, though. Between the time that we had him, we've been winning games. And he really came through for us against the Eagles game. So I'm happy about that. And we have something to look forward to next season. And of course, hopefully he can go out and go all out this season for us in the playoffs and really help us through it. Hopefully his hamstring is getting better. I know he re-injured it in the Eagles game, but hopefully it gets better. And we already know the type of character that Dan Quinn and his group has. They're not going to let Michael Davis come back. You know that for a fact. And then also, we're going to probably get somebody, more than likely. I'm not sure how high in the draft, maybe second or third round again. But we could possibly be getting a cornerback. Maybe even first round. It all depends on what Adam Peters sees. So I'm excited to see what happens. But for right now, we have to bear with them. You know, this is all we have. This is all we got. And if I was to branch off from the cornerbacks for a second, I would also want to bring back Noah Brown. If the market is not picking up anybody like a Noah Brown, I would definitely bring him back. He's familiar with the system. We knew how to make him work. Olamide Zaccheaus, I would bring him back. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see a guy like Hollywood Brown here, seeing that he only have a 1-year deal with the Kansas City Chiefs, and that he's familiar with Cliff Kingsbury's system, and he they really only played like 1 year together. So if he's on the market, I'm sure that we'll go out and get him. And he's not that old. I think he might be like 28, but I would definitely see that happening. Or probably a DeAndre Hopkins, even though he's old, he's probably going to be 33 by the time we get a chance to touch him. But, man, like, what more can you say? Like, if we need a reliable wide receiver 3, 2, why not bring in DeAndre? But I think for a fact we're getting rid of Benjamin St-Juste, and we're also getting rid of Michael Davis. Fans have had enough. If fans are not even letting them have a birthday, then what is that telling you? And let alone the penalties they've let up, the touchdowns they have let up alone, it's probably in the close to double digits. So, and within the Tennessee game and the Falcons game, you'll be surprised Michael Davis didn't have that many penalties as we all thought, but they were costly. And they came in times when we needed a turnover, when we needed to let the offense come out, So if we can have somebody that's better at understanding crucial times and just understand when to do certain things, and to play like a Marshawn Lattimore or Mike Sanderstill. And Also, whoa, I almost forgot about my boy Noah Igbenogany, a guy that was once first round draft pick, and of course he didn't get a chance to shine because the Dolphins had great talent over there at the time. But I think, and then plus he probably wasn't proving himself over there. But think about this: they didn't get rid of him until after 4 years, where we got rid of Emanuel Forbes on his second year. So, and that tells you that no team wanted him, that we wasn't even giving him up for anything, and then that also tells you that, hey, come on now, Noah Igbenogany has a lot. He's done a lot, and I would definitely want to bring him back as well. And they over here scraping his ice. I'm sure y'all can hear it, but man, it's freezing out this junk, man. I hope y'all being safe, and man, like, don't worry. We this is it. This is all we got. This is all we have on the team until next season. There's no more getting anybody else, right? I mean, we could pick somebody up in free agency before we go into the playoffs, but at this point, if we ain't brought nobody in yet, I don't see us making a great. What more? Like, think about this. We bring somebody in right now, maybe like, what's the guy who played it for the Dolphins? I forgot his name. Xavier something Howard. There you go, Xavier Howard. Right. We bring him in. Think about how much time he needs to get comfortable with the scheme and things like that. So I think if we brought him in maybe 4 or 5 weeks ago, then when we brought in Marshawn Lattimore, okay, cool, that would have worked. But right now, I think it's a little too late. And of course, he's been in the league so long that he understands how to play. He may be like a Stephon Gilmore and can just, jump right in and not even have any training camp or anything like that. But, man, I think what we have is going to work. We get a chance to go against the Buccaneers again, get a chance to seal the deal this time, And you got to think, when we first went against them, that was Jayden's first game. And, of course, he proved himself, But imagine where he's at now, how he carries himself now, how he looks at the game differently than he did in the beginning of the season. And it's been a long season, and think about it. He's came back in the last 30 seconds of all the tough games that we've had. He's stayed in the game. He's tried his best, and man, what more can you ask from him? And this is a rookie we're talking about. So I look forward to seeing what Dan Quinn and them do next season as well, because this is their second year. We're 12-5, and think about all the people that are going to be free agents next season, and how everybody wants to come here. Come on now, and man, we don't have to press people out with money too much, but they look to be around a guy like Jayden Daniels. Think about it. If you haven't had success in the league, where would you want to go? I would want to go to a guy that's already had a year in. Like, let's do this for example. C.J. Stroud had a great year, and guess who wanted to come near the next year? Stephon Diggs. And that's because he's seen the talent. He's seen the potential. And look where they are now. They're back in the playoffs. But Stephon Diggs wasn't able to make it to the playoffs because, he got injured. But he's going to be sidelined for, I think, the whole season. He tore something. But it just shows you what happens when guys in the league see potential in a certain player. And, of course, don't get us wrong. We're 12-5, but there was close games and certain games we just wasn't supposed to win. But it just happened. And the Bears game was a extreme one that wasn't supposed to happen, and it just happened. It just happened. But I think we got to just appreciate what we have right now, chill out, and, we understand. But you got to believe in Adam Peters so far, because look what he's done in this very first year. He's got rid of a lot of guys, brought in a lot of guys, a lot of free agents, and then also made great draft picks. And think about Jarzon Newton has been showing out. Benson Knott. What else? My boy Mike Sanders still. Jayden Daniels. We just talking about the first two picks. First two picks. First two rounds. The first round and the second round. And throughout them picks, they have been doing phenomenal. And it's like when you compare that to Ron Rivera's first round and second round picks, they haven't really been hitting like that. But I can appreciate what Ron has brought us. A lot of people forget that he brought us Quan Martin. He brought us Brian Robinson Jr. Jill, relax. He was injured this year. He did miss a lot of games, but he still made it back to that 700-yard mark for him. And I think he broke his career record. I think like 790 something, but yards. And then he has been productive for us. He's been productive. I'm sure. I put up a poll talking about if we were going to bring back Brian Robinson Jr. or were we going to trade him, or were we going to release him, or were we going to make him a second running back instead of the first running back. And a lot of people felt as though we should make him running back too. And I agree with that. I do. But I don't think we should trade him. I think he's very productive. He gets the job done. A lot of people just, I guess, with the 2 fumbles that he's had, I think that was a little scary. And then also the fact that since he's been back, he really hasn't moved the line that much in these last 2 games. So I guess that's what people were talking about. I'm not sure what it is, but don't be worried, because Adam Peters, they will definitely make something happen. It's so many people that's going to be free agents this season. And just like we got Austin Eckler this season, we're going to find somebody else that can, bring some spice to the team, bring some sparks. It's a lot of people that's probably not going to come back. I don't see Zach Ertz coming back. I think this is it for him. I'm still on the fence about Austin Eckler, because he definitely gave us a lot to look forward to. I could see him coming back. It's a lot of guys that I feel like, and then I think there's a lot of guys that really might be amped up. Their role might be amped up, because you seen how De'Ami Brown from last year got amped up, and he got amped up way more than he did over the last few years. And it's crazy, right? All the people that Ron Rivera didn't think highly of, the Commanders think highly of. I mean, the new regime thinks highly of. And all the people that Ron Rivera thought highly of are gone. Majority of them. Almost like 95%. And then Christopher Rodriguez. I always mess that boy name up. Chris Rodriguez. I'm just say that. Make it simple for me. But he's a beast. He is shown to take advantage of, carries and, take advantage of opportunities. So I think his role is going to increase. And Jeremy McNichols, he's average, but he does give the offense a spark as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing what we do. Like I said, the Commanders, we're going to get better. We're going to get better. We're only getting better. And you got to think about what we have around us. We don't have extreme talent. We got solid players with a lot of heart and players that feel inspired and feel like Dan Quinn has just lit a match in them. So, and then there's a lot of guys playing on a 1-year deal. So everybody's trying to prove something. So everybody's trying to go out there and fight. And man, I can't wait to see what we do in the playoffs. We came back and beat the Eagles. We came back and beat the Dallas Cowboys. And we are going to come back and beat the Buccaneers. Man, this has been a movie-like season for us. And to be 12-5 is crazy. That's crazy to say as a Commanders fan. But I'm happy I am a Commanders fan. And man, I say this all the time, but I'm going to start saying it even more. You never know when your day may come. Tomorrow's not promised. So try to build a relationship with God. Talk to him every day. And just tell him what's going on in your life and give your life to God. I hope that you do. I love you. Thank you for watching the video, man. I'm going to come back with some different material. And I'm out.